Hello and welcome to Magnolia. We're so excited to see you here today. I'm Mrs. Robinson. I'm your principal here, and I will be working with your kindergartners on a daily basis. Today, we're hoping we can answer some of your questions that you might have or relieve any nervous feelings you might have about leaving us with your babies. So each teacher is going to take turns today presenting a portion of our presentation. So the information today covers the things that we would present at back to school night. So for that reason, there will be no kindergarten or TK presentations on back to school night. One thing that we also would like to encourage today is our PTA always needs your support. We're always looking for new families to come and join us. So if you're interested in volunteering, you can reach out to me or any of our PTA members or ask your teachers for more information. One thing that's really important about kindergarten is learning how to obey school rules. For some students, they've been to preschool, and for others, maybe not. So we have three really simple school rules. Be safe, be responsible, and be respectful. And our teachers do a really great job of reinforcing those rules in the classroom. One of the ways that they do that is through their behavior charts. So if you look at these pictures here, you can see an example of a behavior chart. Every student starts on green each day and has the opportunity to move up to blue and purple throughout the day by making good choices, showing good effort. There also is an opportunity for students to have their clips lowered down to yellow, orange, or red. When your student gets a ticket, it's because they were doing something special that day. So they might bring home a blue or a purple ticket if they had a really awesome day. If they don't bring home a ticket, it's because they were on green, and that is great. Green is good. We want them to stay on green. And every once in a while, your child might bring home a yellow or an orange one that outlines maybe some areas where they could improve or things that the teacher might need to talk to you about. So hopefully that answers some of your questions about school rules. Next up, we have Miss Espinoza.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Espinosa, and I will be talking about the drop-off procedures. So for the first 3 days of school, that's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, parents and care providers are required to walk students to the classrooms in the morning between 7:45 and 8. Starting on Monday, that's next week, please say goodbye to your student at the kindergarten gate. And if you take a look at the picture, when you're facing the school, the kindergarten gate is located to the right. And the kindergarten gate is open each morning at 7:45. For dismissal procedures, parents and care providers are required to enter through the kindergarten gate and pick up students at the classrooms. So on Monday, we have our early dismissal. You'll be picking up your child at 1 p.m. However, on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you'll be picking up your child at 2 p.m. Please be on time and please wait at the blue line located on the ground, and you will be required to sign out your child for the first few weeks of school. For parking can be hard to find before and after school. You cannot park in the red zone when you're dropping off or picking up your child. And challenges with parking and traffic cannot be an excuse for tardiness or late pickup. So please remember, do not park in the red zone and leave your car unattended. And Mrs. Peters will be talking about recess and lunch in the playground.
Hi, I'm Ms. Peters, and I'll be talking about recess, lunch, and the playground. Breakfast, lunch, and snacks. We want to make sure that your student has lunch every day. Please explain to your child the difference between snack and lunch if they are bringing a lunch from home. Magnolia provides breakfast at the lunch tables each day at 7:30 a.m. free of charge. The difference between snack and lunch, snack is usually yogurt, bananas, something small, and lunch is a bigger item. Playground protocols. We want to make sure that all students are safe on the playground. There's always supervising teachers. Please help us in reminding your child to speak up for themselves and find an adult if they have a problem. What is bullying? Bullying is when someone is being repeatedly hurt either physically or emotionally by another person. It is not an isolated incident. It is important that students learn to self-advocate and find a teacher to help them if an issue occurs on the playground. Shoes. Please teach your child to tie their shoes at home or have them wear slip-on or Velcro shoes. Now Ms. Weinstein is going to speak about this year's subjects.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Weinstein, and this is a glimpse at what your student's going to be learning this year in kindergarten. For language arts, we're going to be focused on developing their foundational reading skills, which includes phonics and word recognition. They're going to learn all of their letters and sounds and a large number of their sight words. We're going to work on important comprehension skills like identifying key ideas and details and reading a text fluently. Your student will develop their writing skills in many ways this year. They're going to study different text types and purposes, including narrative, informative, and persuasive texts. We're going to work on conventions like spacing, capitalization, and punctuation. Students will collaborate with their peers on writing and present their writing to a group, and will work on vocabulary acquisition in order to strengthen their writing. For math, students will learn counting and cardinality, operations and algebraic thinking, which includes basic subtraction and addition, measurement and data, numbers and operations in base 10, and geometry like basic 2D and 3D shapes. We will study several social studies units this year, which will incorporate across all subjects, including reading and writing, such as good citizenship, national and state symbols, community members, comparing and contrasting locations of people, places, and environments, and putting events in order. We will also have several science units that we'll study this year, including characteristics of land, attributes and behaviors of plants and animals, properties of materials, and the impact of weather. Each child will have their own Chromebook computer to use here at school, and we're going to be using a variety of different programs and websites to support their learning across all subjects. Some of the programs we're going to use include Imagine Learning, Seesaw, ST Math, the Magnolia website, RazKids, and coding. Okay, now Mrs. Kisbert's going to tell you about our homework this year.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Kisbert, and I'll go over the homework policy. Our homework will start in September. Homework is due every Friday. This is what the sheet will look like when you get it in September. We will not collect the actual work, but only your signature is needed for completion. And we'll talk about that in September. What happens when your child is absent? When you're absent, you call the office to report it. You can find the number in your kindergarten guide, and you call the office at 619-588-3080. Absences must be cleared within 5 days to avoid being marked truant. Rest well so you can come back to school. We do get funded by students being present each day. We learn a lot every day, so if your child is absent, they're missing out on tons of fun. Now I'm going to have Ms. Thomas come and discuss odds and ends.
Hi, kindergarten and TK families. My name is Ms. Thomas. I'm here to discuss all the extras. First off, please keep your contact information updated with the office. It's imperative that we have a number we can reach you at in case anything happens. It would be helpful for your child to bring a backpack every single day to transport their folder and anything else that we give out throughout the day. We have a wellness policy here in Cajon Valley where we try to promote healthy eating. This leads nicely into our birthday policy. We love celebrating birthdays as much as everybody else, but sometimes when parents bring in those really big cupcakes, our students end up complaining that their stomachs hurt because of all of that sugar. So we really ask that you help us out and bring in really healthy treats, such as fruit or yogurt. If you really want to bring in something special, maybe the little tiny mini muffins or even the little tiny cupcakes, they really like those, but they really need to be the small ones since they have such tiny little stomachs. Our bathroom policy. We have a policy here at Magnolia that we always say yes when students need to go to the bathroom. So I understand from a parent's perspective how it can be sometimes upsetting, if they get called at work and their child had an accident. but just know that sometimes it's a little bit different when your kiddo is at home and the bathroom's right next door to the playroom or right next to their bedroom. It's easier to make it to the bathroom in time. But here at Magnolia, they have to make it all the way down the hallway, and then sometimes they even have to wait in a little line at the bathroom. So, maybe we can encourage your student. We'll encourage them at home, and maybe you can encourage them we'll encourage them at school, and maybe you can encourage them at home to advocate for themselves and not wait to the last minute to ask to go to the bathroom. Extra clothes. Please send in extra clothes with your student. It'd be helpful if they were in a Ziploc bag, and we're going to keep those inside the backpack, so we're not going to take them out and store them here in the classroom because we don't have room. So if you see them in the backpack, that's great. That's where they're supposed to be. But we just want them to have an extra set of clothes in case they have an accident, or in case they step in a puddle and get their pants wet, or in case they spilled their lunch on them so they don't have to walk around having a messy taco spill on their shirt. So please send in extra clothes, and again, they will stay in the backpack, but just so we don't have to bother you at work for something simple. Label, label, label. Please label their backpacks, their lunch boxes, their jackets, so that if it gets lost, we can easily return it to you. Please make sure your child is dressed appropriately for school. Please don't have them wear sandals. We like flip-flops too, but it's just not safe to have at school, and we don't want them getting hurt. Lastly, the reporting periods are going to be in November, March, and June. In November, we'll have a parent-teacher conference where we'll sit down and go over the report card with you, and then in March and June, we'll just send home the report card. Visitors and volunteers. We welcome visitors and volunteers at Magnolia, but please give us a month before you volunteer so we can establish routines and relationships with your student. Every visitor is required to sign in through the office, and just a heads up, they will require your driver's license to scan if you do sign into the office. Handouts. We're almost done. Everybody is going to be getting this little flip book that I know Ms. Kispert went over with you. So it just has a little welcome. It has the contact information for each teacher. The classroom newsletter, it just says that we'll be sending home a newsletter every single month that tells you about what's going on in our classroom. Our class schedule. Again, here's absences and tardies. The number to Magnolia is written again for you to call in if your kiddo is sick. Homework that Ms. Kispert just went over. Classroom management that Mrs. Robinson went over. And we worked really hard on making these super beautiful, so please keep them on your refrigerator the whole year long so that you can easily reference it if you need it. There are two other handouts you're going to be getting. One is a packet of resources, and you can go through it whenever it's convenient for you, but it's just the letters, the sight words we're going to learn, a kindergarten writing rubric, the birthday policy that we went over, what we'll be learning in kindergarten, pencil grip so you can make sure your kiddo has correct pencil grip, and again about absences and tardies, kind of an information sheet of when should I send my kiddo to school and when do I need to keep them at home. Lastly, we'll be sending home this student info sheet that just helps us to get to know you and your family better. It might not be green, it's going to be color-coded based on the class your child is in, but it's front and back, and it just gives us a heads up about your contact information and about your family to help us support your child better. We know Wednesday will be hard at drop-off, but we promise to take wonderful care of your students. We really love students here at Magnolia. We've all been teaching at Magnolia for a while, and we just love our students, and we promise to take really, really good care of your kiddo. So I know it's going to be hard, but we promise to love them. Also, please drop off and pick up your child at the classroom. I know Mrs. Espinoza already referenced this on the first week of school. So that's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and you'll be dropping off and picking up your child in the classroom. That's where you are right then. So we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Thank you so much for attending.